Officers arrested following woman's death. Around 500 million Kina increase. And 12 schools involved in digital connectivity program. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Natasha Avoy. Thank you for joining us. 3 police officers have been arrested and detained following the shooting and death of Sandy Purell of Southern Highlands Province yesterday at the Waigani Market in Port Moresby.
The incident took place during a police operation when they were removing vendors during illegal activities at the Waigani Market. In a statement released, Police Commissioner David Manning said that the 3 police personnel are subject of criminal investigation. An investigation will be conducted to find out who fired the round that resulted in the death of the young woman. Commissioner Manning said policemen and women must be responsible and ensure the public is aware before discharging a firearm. Mr. Manning said he is instructing a review into the police procedures and the use of warning shots. He urged the community to remain calm while the law takes full force. Commissioner Manning conveyed his condolences to the grieving family and assured that justice will be served. Meanwhile, following the recent ethnic clash at Waigani Market that took place last week, 5 possible eyewitnesses are currently assisting police investigation team in NCD to carry out thorough investigation into the incident. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
The Papua New Guinea Business Coalition for Women has called for a harassment policy to be established in workplaces.
Executive Director Yvonne Kennedy said this policy will give employees confidence when they experience harassment in workplaces.
So we support companies to implement the workplace policy and how to help staff members understand what constitutes sexual harassment, if there are cases of sexual harassment, how they can report, and what the complaints mechanism is within their workplace.
Yvonne said it takes everyone in the workplace to create a safe environment, thus encouraging employees to report harassment.
If you see something, report it. Speak up, do what you can in order to make sure that our workplaces are safe for everyone.
She urged companies to come up with policies and procedures for employees to report harassment in the workplace.
There isn't anything governing sexual harassment in our laws, and we would like to, other than the ones that I've mentioned, when it gets to an extreme form, the Criminal Code Act and Family Protection Act.
Jacinta Doctor, National EMTV News.
A team from the Office of Censorship, led by the Deputy Chief Censor, Ms. Ilikomau Ali, was in Alotau recently to meet with provincial authorities, government agencies and stakeholders to begin process of the decentralization program.
Milne Bay Province will become the second in the country following West Sepik Province for a committee created to execute certain functions of the Office of Censorship. Deputy Chief Censor Ilikomau Ali said that Milne Bay is chosen because it is a strategic location. She said the committee will work together with the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary and the PNG Customs Service to refer to office, publications and materials that are offensive to a reasonable adult person and undesirable in the interest of the public. During the meeting, Deputy Chief Censor Hali went through the draft term of reference for the Provincial Censorship Committee with stakeholders for their inputs. The team from the Office of Censorship will liaise with the community development team in the province to ensure they capture all contributions in the final draft. Deputy Provincial Administrator, Corporate and District Services, Sharon Moa welcomed the idea and expressed the intention of working partnership. Ms. Moore said the Provincial Censorship Committee will also assist the province through the Community Development Division to address social issues. Benson Wema, National MTV News.
Bank of South Pacific Financial Group has announced that the foreign exchange income for its financial year 2024 increased to an approximate 500 million kina.
Chief Executive Officer Mark Robinson said this marks a 22% increase from the previous year. Mr. Robinson said the foreign currency increase shows that Papua New Guinea is again facing an increased flow of foreign currency right across the region and into the Pacific Islands. He further elaborated on BSP's foreign exchange business in the past years.
It also reflected the fact that over the last several years we built an incredibly strong foreign exchange business serving our customers, both retail customers and corporate customers.
He said the bank also made strong progress in credit quality on continuing to strengthen its loan book. Foreign exchange is the exchanging of one currency to another. Jacinta Doctor, National MTV News.
With more than 900 students currently registered at the Innovative University of Enga, Prime Minister James Marape says this signals the demand for programs offered at the university.
In a congratulatory statement on the inaugural batch of 164 students graduating from the Innovative University of Enga, PM Marape reaffirmed his government's commitment to expanding university enrollment opportunities across the country to accommodate the more than 30,000 grade 12 school leavers each year. The inaugural graduating class graduated in Bachelor in Education, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Bachelor of Science in Physics, Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, Bachelor of Arts in English, Bachelor of General Nursing, and Graduate Diploma in STEM. Mr. Marape said it is encouraging to see students graduating in specialized fields that the country needs urgently. He noted the Innovative University will incorporate existing institutions in the province, including the Technical College, School of Nursing, and Teachers College. They will become faculties within the university. Malinta Yopolo, National MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chicken kebasa je, ha? Yum!
This stuff right.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you,
Yum!
stir fry for you, and chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
Join us weekly on MTV News, A Closer Look, the current affairs program that brings you insight for the latest on education, health,
appealing to all the residents.
Business,
They launched its weekend
politics,
To infiltrate into our systems.
sports, and more.
As we observe the preparations for the women's.
A Closer Look, Sunday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. The Conservation and Environment Protection Authority, along with the Food and Agriculture Organization and Global Environment Facility, visited 2 districts to observe the natural environment and conservation in Simbu Province.
The sites were Gumini District in Kumai-Bomai LLG and Sinesine Yongumul District in Yongumul LLG. Technical Advisor for Special Project Donor Coordinator with Conservation and Environment Protection Authority, Samson Mark, highlighted why Simbu is one of the provinces considered under this biodiversity conservation project.
Simbu is one of that province that hosts part of the 7% of the world's biodiversity and therefore the project is worth it because we have the population at large is exploding and Simbu's land mass is smaller and part of the province is an high altitude area with steep inclinations and therefore it's untenable. Therefore, we've selected this province as one of the key province to preserve the biodiversity that we chose, as well as address the threats to biodiversity.
Chief Technical Advisor, UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, Dr. Hitufumi Habe, highlighted another project is currently underway in the province.
So initially, SEPA didn't want to include Simbu in the GEF7 project because there is an ongoing GEF6 project. But now, GEF6 will be finishing next year and the GBFF will be starting next year. So maybe it's a good timing to, continue the support.
The Community Biodiversity Conservation and Natural Resources Management in Kahubasisi Village with Kuma Nursery Tree Planting Association in Sinesine Yongumul District and with the Digana Green Conservation Resources Management along with KKK Tree Forestation Association in Gumini have presented their proposals to FAO and SEPA for support during the district visits. Nicole Rama, National MTV News.
PNG Dataco Limited, through its Community Service Obligation Program, delivered a 7.4 gigabits per second of bandwidth nationwide, with 70% dedicated to the education sector.
This initiative comes in line with the government's digital transformation agenda in education. Recently, PNG Dataco Limited, in collaboration with the Mount Again City Authority and Jiwaka Provincial Government, launched the school digital connectivity program to several schools in both provinces. These initiatives, delivered through public-private partnerships, has connected 12 secondary and vocational schools to high-speed internet and provide critical digital infrastructure and devices to support teaching and learning. Minister for State Enterprises William Duma commended Dataco for the initiatives.
I want to thank Dataco for investing 600,000 kina for Hagen electorate, 500,000 kina for the Juaka province. So totally, there's allocated 1.1 million kina to kickstart this.
In the project, each school in both provinces received a minimum of 10 megabytes per second paid bandwidth plus 10 megabytes per second free under Dataco's community service obligation, totaling up to 70 megabytes per second paid and 70 megabytes per second free across the program. Additionally, Wi-Fi access points and internet filtering devices were also provided to ensure safe and effective digital learning. Speaking during the presentation at Juaka, Chairman of PNG Dataco, Dr. Thomas Webster, said the world has already been transformed into the digital era, and it is important that students and teachers move with the technology changes.
This is something now laptop, now two, mipla connect him long this super highway me talk line. But you can use him, now connect him, now walk him. When I'm kind school something or information you like him learn, you can connect the all the rest of the world along this long connectivity or walking line.
Dataco also presented 60 laptops, approximately 10 per school for 6 schools in Jiwaka, whilst the other 6 schools in Mount Hagen received 80 laptops, approximately 13 per school. Louis Mango, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, the Mount Hagen City Authority and Jiwaka Provincial Government also funded the installation and setup of the school digital connectivity program and will cover monthly internet charges.
The total project cost of the school digital connectivity programs for 6 schools in Mount Hagen is over 600,000 kina, which is support from PNG Dataco, while Mount Hagen City Authority contributed 7,000 kina for installation and setup of internet connectivity. During the presentation, Western Islands Governor Wairapa has reaffirmed the provincial government's commitment in boosting education in the province.
So the main pillar programs that my provincial government giving is, number one is the education programs in the province.
Meanwhile, in Jiwaka province, the project cost over 518,000 kina, with the Jiwaka provincial administration contributing 100,000 kina. Governor for Jiwaka province, Simon Kaiwi, said the world is evolving and students and teachers must be digitally literate.
Beginning stop when them teachers now principal you will stop, and by making easy you will by accessing. Walking some walk you will stop by the madlon by making easy to study blah.
Louis Mango, National EMTV News.
National Capital District Provincial Health Authority and World Vision PNG have officially signed a 2-year memorandum of understanding to support and strengthen the delivery of critical health services, particularly under the tuberculosis and HIV and AIDS programs. This collaboration will support public health efforts and improve healthcare delivery in the nation's capital. Volunteers from the Korean Catholic community embarked on a medical mission trip to Papua New Guinea from Sydney and Brisbane.
The team consisted of medical personnel, a hospital team, an educational team, and a maintenance team. They set up the clinic at Caritas Technical Secondary School Gymnasium, also visiting nearby communities. During this mission, the volunteers treated over 1,400 patients, made more than 200 desks, built 10 library shelves, and completed electrical repairs for a local school. The volunteers said the mission was hard but joyful and fulfilling. They shared that they have brought light to someone's life, gave children a place to study, and offered hope for a better future. They said this was a new and humbling reality. Nicole Rama, National EMTV News.
United Nations Special Representative of the Secretary General on Violence Against Children arrived yesterday. Dr. Najat Malamajid is on a 5-day mission for 5 high-level talks in rising concern over violence against children, low vaccination rates, and malnutrition.
get immunized at the moment.
UNICEF PNG representative Dr. Vera Mendonca said the visit came at a critical time with nearly 3/4 of children in the country experiencing some form of violence. Dr. Mendonca said the mission is expected to help mobilize support for EVAC implementation, increase investment in child protection services and the social service workforce, expand positive parenting programs, and improve coordination across sectors. She said PNG is a home to millions of children and is one of the youngest countries on the planet. Dr. Majid is expected to meet with Prime Minister James Marape, parliamentarians, civil society groups, youth representatives, and members of the justice sector. As PNG approaches 50 years of independence, UNICEF stands ready to help the government seize this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to leverage its huge demographic dividend. Nicole Rama, National MTV News.
And now we take a look at the NASFAN market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2441 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2366, $0.3611 Australian dollars, $0.2001 euro, and 33.42 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, copper closed unchanged, palm oil closed unchanged, crude oil is trading higher and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
This May and June, Port Moresby comes alive with the historic Asia-Pacific Month, a spectacular celebration of our shared heritage and unity. Join us as we honor 50 years of independence by celebrating the nations that helped shape PNG. From May 16 to June 21st, experience the cultures and stories of our Asia-Pacific family. Our nationhood was shaped by centuries of connection with our Asia-Pacific family. Now, we celebrate this history together. Taste the authentic cuisines, witness breathtaking performance, and explore our shared history, all in amazing Port Moresby. Don't miss the Asia-Pacific Month, every weekend from May 16th to June 21st. Free entry for all. We work, we inspire, we celebrate.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Secure your advertising today with MTV. Vocal Fusion Season 12. Book now. Contact our sales team on 312-9200 or email mtvsales at mtv.com.pg.
We have the Valuations Act 1967. Now, that becomes an issue.
Join us tonight at 7 as we look at the valuation industry in Papua New Guinea.
So with that, for customary landowners, it is very important that they have to get their lands registered at Lands Department. Having the ILG for their land is very important.
That's all tonight.
You're watching National MTV News, and now moving to overseas news. Around 1,200 homes and businesses remain without power across the mid-north coast as the cleanup continues after last week's record-breaking floods. The New South Wales SES have been giving an update on the flood response.
I can happily report that we've managed to reduce down to 72 warnings that are still out there. There are no emergency warnings left. That is a significant effort in terms of getting people home. We continue to work tirelessly across both the mid-north coast and the Hunter area to make sure that communities are getting as much support as they can get right the way along. All your emergency service partners, Fire and Rescue, Rural Fire Service, New South Wales, SES, Surf Life Saving and Volunteer Rescue Association are all here working right across these communities. Couple that with the community that's been actively mobilised over the last few days means that there is a significant effort going on. We've completed so far over 3,500 damage assessments, which is a significant effort in that period of time. There is much more to do, and we'll continue to do that over the next few days. Today, very much our focus is on resupply into communities, particularly up and down through the Hunter, where we've seen this morning the communities, places like Hinton, get resupply operations in the early hours of the morning. That will continue, and for people that need support, we ask you to call 132 500, because if we don't know about it, we can't help you. Through the mid-north coast today, the damage assessment, the clean-up and the washout will also continue. And behind me, there are a significant number of community volunteers that have also turned up to be part of that process. And they are part of our process. They are coupled with New South Wales SES and your emergency service partners.
All right, we'll leave that news conference there. An update from the SES and, interestingly, as well from community volunteers who are now forming a group and chipping in to support the work of emergency services and the SES. This is a mammoth task that they face there on the New South Wales mid-north coast. So they're trying to mobilise communities to get together with them, join in and sign up to the communityfloodresponse.com and let them know what you can do and where. So those efforts continuing right along the coast, and the Prime Minister will go and have a look for himself tomorrow.
Warning, this next story contains disturbing images of malnourished and injured children. The Spanish Foreign Minister has called for sanctions against Israel, as well as an arms embargo if it does not stop its attacks on Gaza.
Even though Israel is now allowing some aid into Gaza, there's nothing like enough nutrition for Siwar. Her mum says her weight has dropped again in recent days.
Currently, there is no food or nutrients. The water is polluted and we force ourselves to drink it. We don't have food or bread.
The shelter was hit by gunfire when people attempted to loot food nearby.
When Siwar hears the sounds of the rockets, she gets startled and she cries. She understands these things. The sound of the tanks, warplanes and rockets are so loud and they are close to us. And if she was sleeping, she would wake up startled and crying.
The Israeli government said 3 days ago there was no food crisis in Gaza, but that it was now allowing aid to prevent one. Life is hunger, fear and trauma. Dr. Wasim Saeed is a British plastic surgeon who's just returned from Gaza. He's treated many children, like 6-year-old Noor, who suffered severe blast and burn injuries in an Israeli airstrike. Lack of nutrition is making it much harder for wounds to heal, he says.
You could see people losing hope. You could see how depressed they were. The nutritional status of everybody was appalling. So grafts were not taking, wounds were not healing.
Yet for all that he's seen, this British doctor wants to go back. It's his human duty, he told us.
None of this needed to happen. Every time you see a child, you think of your own children and how well, you try not to at the time because it would be, you couldn't work if you thought, what if this was happened to my daughter or heaven forbid or something like that.
Set against the raging war, a child's life is a fragile thing, but loved dearly.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says a lack of U.S. action and condemnation is emboldening Vladimir Putin. The warring sides have returned 1,000 prisoners each in a rare show of cooperation between the two countries.
A prisoner swap between Russia and Ukraine has now been completed, with over 600 troops being returned to their home countries on the third and final day of the exchange. Across the 3 days, both Russia and Ukraine returned 1,000 soldiers as part of a deal that was struck in Istanbul. Of course, both warring sides met there to thrash out a peace deal. Of course, nothing came of that. This was really the only tangible agreement, but there was hope that this cooperation would lead to more constructive dialogue between the two countries. But instead, we've seen an escalation from Russia over the weekend. In fact, the military says Moscow launched one of its biggest aerial attacks on the country since the war began, saying over 300 drones and missiles were launched, killed several people, including children. Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Russia of deliberately targeting civilians. He's also made a call to action to his European allies, asking them to further punish Russia and impose sanctions. Now, the EU and the UK are drawing up those sanctions as we speak. The spotlight, though, really is on the White House, and Mr. Zelensky made some pretty pointed comments on social media over the weekend, accusing the White House of silence and saying that silence was emboldening the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin. Now, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has resisted calls to impose further restrictions on Russia, saying he doesn't want to interfere with those talks or those ceasefire talks he's having personally now with Vladimir Putin. But as we see this escalation and we see this intensification from Russia, it appears that a ceasefire may be further away than many people had hoped.
Antarctic tourism is booming, and new research is forecasting a fourfold increase in annual visit in numbers over the next 10 years.
Promoted as an icy wonderland, Antarctica has become an increasingly popular place to visit.
The demand is very clearly there. People have Antarctica on their bucket list.
In the 1990s, fewer than 8,000 tourists visited Antarctica each year. In 2023-24, the number surpassed 120,000. And new research shows that figure could rise to about 450,000 in the next decade, most of it concentrated on the Antarctic Peninsula.
This is the best estimate that currently we have. And I think it gives us a sense of urgency and a warning that we need to better protect and regulate more strictly.
But the association that represents Antarctic tour operators says its latest unpublished figures show a 5% downturn over the past year due to global economic conditions.
Tourism does tend to slow, particularly those to some of the more far-reaching places like Antarctica.
The association says guidelines are already in place to mitigate risks such as pollution, invasive species and wildlife disturbance.
Keeping at least 5 metres from wildlife.
We're driven by people who are extremely passionate about Antarctica and about protecting Antarctica.
But researchers say additional measures could be considered, including tourist caps in sensitive areas, taxes on higher impact activities and tighter certification for operators.
We need a cocktail of all these different ingredients in order to better regulate tourism.
Implementing such guidelines could prove tricky, but conservationists say voluntary guidelines need to be replaced with enforceable rules.
If you're not regulating one of the major human activities that is growing fairly rapidly, then you're not really protecting the Antarctic environment.
Antarctic treaty nations will discuss the regulation of tourism at their annual meeting next month.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
Join me every Thursday night as Sporting brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is David Mead.
Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
All eyes on Auckland. Now an NRL team based here.
To create a pathway.
And our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name is Gemma Schnobel and you're watching.
All the younger ones should follow.
Sporting, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, MTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Team PNG athletes and officials came together at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Stadium for a vibrant and spirited team bonding event in preparation for the 2025 Pacific Mini Games in Palau.
The long day event brought together over 150 athletes and officials in celebration of unity, national pride and the team culture under the guidance of the Papua New Guinea Olympic Committee. The event featured a range of activities designed to disseminate important Team PNG and Games information, strengthen relationships, reinforce shared values and prepare Team PNG to represent the nation with pride. PNG OC President Emma YY congratulated the athletes who earned their place on the team.
As athletes and officials of Team PNG, you carry the hope and pride of our nation. We expect discipline and commitment. Stay focused on your goals. Train hard. Rest well and give your best in every moment. We expect respect and integrity. Treat your teammates, opponents, and officials with respect.
Athletes engaged in interactive sessions grouped by functional areas such as media, medical, performance, safeguarding and anti-doping, and athletes commission. The event ended with a lively team workout practice, a spirited performance of the official Team PNG song, and a team lunch that allowed athletes and officials to connect in a relaxed setting.
Wear the red, black and gold with pride. Let your passion for PNG shine through everything you do. And I hope that by the end of today, that you walk away with three things. A deeper connection with your teammates, and I don't mean your own teammates in volleyball or basketball or softball, I mean your teammates as part of Team PNG. Because knowing who stands beside you makes you stronger.
The Papua New Guinea Olympic Committee sincerely thank Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific partners for their generous donation of beverages and the Papua New Guinea Sports Foundation. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The PNG National Rugby League competition has successfully completed its round 7 matches this weekend.
Coming back from top-tier performances in the round 6 matches last weekend, PNG NRL competition continues to bring more exciting yet tough battles. In the round 7 of the competition, Kimbe Cutters defeated Dabaris at home 16-10 points at Peter Humphreys Oval in Kimbe. Moniplus Vipers outclassed the Hagen Eagles by 20 points to 12 at John Aban Oval in Minj. Mandy Muruks beat Wagetumbe 18-16 in a close counter match at Lay League ground. Gulf Iso made a strong comeback in the second half to bag another 28-24 win against Goroka Lanis at the Santos National Football Stadium. Lay Snacks Tigers stressed Enga Mioks 20 points to 4 at Lay League ground, and Egma Gurias defeated Hela Wigman 10-8 in the last match of the day at the Santos National Football Stadium. This weekend, the PNG National Rugby League competition will head into its round 8 matches. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The Malama Enterprises Kimbe Soccer Association has successfully completed its pre-season with grand finals across all divisions.
An highlight of the event was the senior men's match officially kicked off by young Preston Raymond Soughton, a representative of Malama Enterprises Group. President Maha in his speech applauded Soughton for his involvement as an official in the pre-season grand final of the competition. President Maha further noted that the level of interest and commitment demonstrated by the clubs during the pre-season indicates a growing momentum for soccer. After a grand final matches, cash prizes were awarded to the finalists in its club and divisions. Maha also acknowledged Malama Enterprises Group for their generous and continuous support for all soccer activities within the Kimbe Soccer Association. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Chicken kebasa din, ha? Yum!
This different.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you. And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
This May and June, Port Moresby comes alive with the historic Asia Pacific Month, a spectacular celebration of our shared heritage and unity. Join us as we honor 50 years of independence by celebrating the nations that helped shape PNG. From May 16 to June 21st, experience the cultures and stories of our Asia Pacific family. Our nationhood was shaped by centuries of connection with our Asia Pacific family. Now we celebrate this history together. Taste the authentic cuisines, witness breathtaking performance, and explore our shared history, all in amazing Port Moresby. Don't miss the Asia Pacific Month, every weekend from May 16th to June 21st. Free entry for all. We work, we inspire, we celebrate.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
EMTV proudly wishes Papua New Guinea a happy 50th anniversary.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
It's not rocket science. And many of these things too, I didn't go to school, I teach myself.
From Hot Talk Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennell, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Moni Plus has presented a check of 20,000 kina to the Papua New Guinea Volleyball Federation. This is to help with preparations for the mini South Pacific Games, which will be held in Palau next month.
In a ceremony at the Taroma Aquatic Center recently, Moni Plus Information and Communication Technology Manager Tao Kilamanu presented a check to the PNG Volleyball Federation. Federation President Award IC received the check. Mr. IC said the sponsorship was timely as the PNG volleyball team has only 4 weeks to prepare. The games in Palau will be held on 29 June to the 9th July. The Pacific Mini Games is a multi-sport event organized by the Pacific Games Council and serves as a smaller version of the Pacific Games, which is held every 4 years. Mr. Kilamanu said MoniPlus partnership with PNG Volleyball Federation is another important step towards corporate social responsibility and in building meaningful and lasting connections. He urged the PNG volleyball team to make the country, their families and sponsors proud in the Palau Games. Pakatambua, Trukai Sports.
And now moving to overseas sports. In AFL, the Gold Coast Suns have jumped back into third place in the ladder with a win over the Saints.
So the Suns ended up defeating St Kilda by 19 points in the end. But it was a comment by the St Kilda coach, Ross Lyon, before the match that instigated a bit of a tit-for-tat. It was a spicy build-up. Have a listen to what Ross Lyon and then his opposition coach, Damien Hardwick, had to say.
You know, I'm a little bit concerned. They're chock full of talent, aren't they? The AFL Nepo baby. But
it's a little bit disrespectful, I think. Trust me, I've been at Richmond and I've come to the Gold Coast. We don't get a lot. What probably St Kilda should do is just make sure they focus on their own backyard instead of trying to bring everyone else down.
The French Open is officially underway for the first time in 20 years. And that ends Trukai Sports. The Morning Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
I'm Martha, and each week on Kai Time, we'll introduce you to local food businesses showcasing their delicious dishes. From the pasta, the white sauce. Plus, you will discover how to make tasty and affordable meals using ingredients from your local markets. Tune in to Kai Time every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
More than the life we know, there is more to what the future holds. You be holy man, the walk on that night. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And now looking at the Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City partly cloudy with possible showers and drizzles and thunderstorms. Daru cloudy periods with occasional showers, rain and thunderstorm. Kerema partly cloudy with brief showers, rain drizzles and possible thunderstorms. Alotau mostly cloudy with periods of showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. And Popondetta cloudy with showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. In the Momase region, Ley City becoming cloudy with evening showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. Madang partly cloudy with brief showers and drizzles. Wewak partly cloudy with occasional showers, rain and possible thunderstorm. Vanimo partly cloudy with occasional showers, rain and possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau partly cloudy with evening showers, rain and possible thunderstorm. Kavieng partly cloudy with some evening showers, rain and thunderstorms. Kokopo and Rabaul partly cloudy with few rain and showers. Kimbe partly cloudy with few showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. And Buka partly cloudy in the evening with few showers and drizzles. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, few showers with rain and possible thunderstorms. Goroka, Barnes and Kundiawa, cloudy with evening showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. Mendi, Tari and Wabek, cloudy periods with showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. Now looking at small ships forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samurai Island, seas 1 to 2.5 meters rising to 3 meters over the warning areas. Waters of Samurai Island to Cape Vogel and all Milling Bay Islands, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of north of Cape Vogel to Huen Gulf to Fincher Fen, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Fincher Fen to Vitiers Strait to CRC Island to Dampier Strait, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Long Island to Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of New Island and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And waters of New Britain Island, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Now looking at the ocean forecast, Coral Sea sees rough with patches of very rough. Easterly to southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots with strong gusts at times. Solomon Sea sees slight to moderate, east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea sees smooth to slight, easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. And Pacific Ocean sees smooth to slight, east to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 27th of May 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.